Hey guys, everything new under the sun, just to bring you up to date on what's happening around the world, I guess. We need to be aware of this, and the immigrant situation is huge. It's a problem, and mainstream media seems to downplay it. The liberal lefties suggest that we need to welcome and integrate all kinds of not just Muslims, but immigrants in general. And well, yes, that's it's a nice idea. It's a good idea. There's limits to which countries can handle in terms of influx of immigrants, many of which who can't speak the language, most of which who don't have jobs when they're coming in, or even education for that matter. And so, yes, it's a very valid position to be worried about the migrants coming in, and how you handle them and how you vet them, and are they educated people that can get jobs? Are there enough jobs already in your society? These are all things that governments are supposed to manage and handle. And the mainstream media in the U.S. has really been putting it to Trump that, there's no problem with immigration, and there's no reason why you should slow down immigration in the U.S. And you need to have a balanced response. I mean, it's not a wise comment just to say, yes, let's just let everybody in, as many as we can, because often it's actually cheaper. Better bang for your buck. Instead, rather than letting them into your country, to actually pay for them to stay in their own countries, because that's what they're used to. There's potentially jobs available there already. They know how to live there. They probably already had a house there. But when they come to your country with nothing, often it costs a lot of money. So it's actually even cheaper and probably more humane in the end, and culturally, for so many reasons, it's probably better to provide a way for them to stay in their own country or in their own region and support them there, and where they can also be with family, etc. It doesn't make a lot of economic sense to support the mass migration of humans in this way, especially when there's so many that the governments, the countries, can't really handle them effectively. And so this is a Zero Hedge article, rioting in Sweden. Meanwhile, riots break out in Sweden. It would appear that the mainstream media, along with several celebrities and Swedish politicians, is going to be apologizing to Trump again, having spent the entire news cycle trying to ignore the immigrants' crisis facing Sweden and pin the ignorant tale on Trump. Both Dagbladet and Expressen reports riots breaking out in highly immigrant-concentrated Stockholm, a borough of Rinkeby, Sweden, with police firing warning shots as hundreds of youths throw stones and burn cars. That the first time I saw that throwing stone, that made me think of the Middle East. That made me think of Israel, Palestine. Are they bringing their same tactics basically to every other Western nation effectively that they move to? And you got to ask, what are the real reasons that people are doing this? And it's probably because there's too many people too fast that the government can't keep up with, kind of normalizing, integrating them. And so they end up poor. They end up grouped together, all the immigrants grouped together. And they end up just having troubles because the countries can't manage so many immigrants. It's a real problem. During the event, during the evening, hundreds of young people gathered in the center of Rinkeby, well known for its high concentration of immigrants and people with immigrant ancestry. In 2011, Rinkeby was a scene of riots against local police station. Rinkeby is a region in which 60 Minutes crew were attacked in 2016. The problem Sweden faces integrating large numbers. This isn't just a few. Yeah, it's great to welcome a few and manage them once they're integrated. If you get it, help a few more, certainly. The problem Sweden faces integrating large numbers of Muslim immigrants is a subject on which Norrkönen columnist Ulf Nilsson has written many times. His warnings of increasing radicalization among Sweden's Muslims, warnings started to broadcast a decade ago, now seem eerily prophetic in light of the Associated Press investigation that found Stockholm to be a breeding ground for jihadists. According to the AP report, which ran January 24th, an Al-Qaeda-linked group is busy recruiting anti-government fighters among Somali youths living in Rinkeby. a suburb of Stockholm. Rinkeby has earned the nickname Little Mogadishu because of a number of Somalis living there. This is a problem, and this is, I think, is going to come to lots of countries who, not necessarily the fault of the immigrants, although they should know better. They should. We should expect as much out of them as we do from the regular citizens of the countries. But they're not handled as well. The countries can't handle so many migrants. So what do? They're left destitute. They're left without money, left without jobs. They're left without social help because the governments can't afford it. There's not enough services for the number of immigrants that these countries are letting in. And so you have this rioting. And there's a tweet there. Massive rioting happening now in Sweden. Stockholm in flames. Trump was right again, it says. I've been in some turmoil, but this is something extra. It looks like a war zone here. And so these countries are dealing with this. And how do you manage this situation? Here's some more pictures of the fires. There appeared to be a number of young people throwing stones at police patrol. I do not know how many concerned, but there will be several people anyway, it said. Police patrol on site must have felt so constricted that they were forced to fire warning shots in connection with the stoning. Again, it sounds like the Temple Mount, the Palestinian youths throwing stones at police. It's really exporting Middle East violence, I think. Middle East, for whatever the reasons are that these people do. I don't know what gets in their heads, whether it's socioeconomic troubles or whether it's ideological reasons that they're doing this. It doesn't. In the end, it almost doesn't matter. They're rioting, they're causing trouble, and the governments don't know what to do about this stuff. 7 to 8 cars have been burned. According to information are about the emergency services have requested reinforcements. The police attacked the second time by the youth gang. So these are real and present troubles. How long before Schumer starts crying for the poor immigrants of Little Mogadishu? And how long before CNN manages to blame Trump for tonight's riots? So it's an ongoing issue. There's many reasons for it. The truth is, these governments got to stop allowing so much immigration. They can't handle it, regardless of the attitude, ideological, socioeconomic, regardless of the reasons that these people are having issues, that they're rioting. The governments, from a very, very rational point of view, these governments just apparently can't handle the number of immigrants. So you've got to slow it down. So yes, you need immigration policy. You can't just let everybody in. It's not going to work, no matter what the reason is, no matter what the religion of the people is, etc. Culturally different, cultural differences, religious differences, etc. You just can't open your borders wide open. It just doesn't make any sense. There's no good reason for it. There's no good excuse for it. You need strong immigration laws. That's just kind of the end of the story. Like I say, regardless of who the immigrants are, it's not just Muslim. Regardless of who they are, you need immigration laws to be strong. So in this case, this is the government's responsibility. They need to be controlling this, and they aren't very well in Sweden right now.